How do these people get licenses when they obviously don't have eyes? Pavement princesses, if you will. First of all, how did you not scrape my car? Second of all, how did you not even notice you were parking that badly? If you can afford that truck, you can afford a Honda Civic. Hey, what's up? I'm back. It's been a while since I've been here at the whiteboard, and I've had this video idea in mind for quite a while that I have not had the time or energy to do yet, but now I do. If you're like me, a college student, or have been a college student in the past, you know that one of the big stereotypes about being in college is terrible parking. One of the big things that gets talked about is that nobody can ever find a parking space, and when they can, it's super expensive. That is all true, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about the people that are horrible at parking, just in general. So for the first few weeks that I was here at Texas A&M, I parked in a giant lot 140 as I think is what they call it. That place is the Wild West when it comes to parking. Horrible parkers, people parking illegally just everywhere, and you can't find a spot. That's why people park illegally. After those first few weeks though, I was accepted to get into a parking garage. I was accepted into West Campus parking garage here at Texas A&M, and it is a lot better than the lot. But the people that park in this garage are insufferable. When it comes to parking in college parking garages, my main issue, although not all the time, my main issue are the people who park in their giant trucks. Now, I really don't want to come off as one of those people that are like, oh, you don't need the giant truck, because some people do need giant trucks to do things, especially here in America. Some people do, but not the people who park in these stupid parking garages. I'm talking like the brand spanking new lifted Ford F-250 Platinums that don't have a speck of dirt on them anywhere. The pavement princesses, if you will. If you can afford that truck, you can afford a Honda Civic that is a lot more practical to park in these garages. So let's make some parking spots here. Forgive my imperfect drawing, but this is a general layout of how all the aisles are in the parking garages here at Texas A&M. They're at a slant for one-way aisles, one way, and they all have about, I don't know how wide this is, but it's about a foot in between each space. So it's a really good parking structure because it's all one way, and there's leeway. So that way, you know, you don't ding someone with the door when you're open it. There's more leeway, there's more freedom to park. It should be easier. But let's talk about these giant trucks that I believe, frankly, should not be allowed to park in these parking garages. So we have these giant trucks, and it's not just the F-250s. I mean, it's any of those giant trucks. They come in here and they park, right? They park in one of these spaces, but then the truck is so giant that it sticks out that much, like a decent amount, into the aisle, and it becomes a hazard. And most of the time, these trucks have hitches, which, by the way, don't have a speck of wear and tear on them. They're chromed out. Like, the hitches look like they've never been used, and they're sticking, like, way out, too, for no reason. It's ridiculous. Can guarantee you these trucks have never hauled a trailer before. But they're sticking way out, and I drive a Ford Escape, and that's a tiny car. It's a crossover. It's not tiny as a sedan, but it's a pretty tiny car. And, you know, whenever I'm driving in, I'm like, oh, there's a truck there, so I kind of have to, you know, like, oh, make way, go around it. But, you know what else there is? What if there's another giant truck over here that's also sticking out? They stick out, and in my little car, I have to literally, like, be so careful to fit through. I have to, like, take a big wide turn so I can go as straight as I can in between these trucks, because A, they're sticking way out, and B, both of them have hitches that have never hauled trailers before that are sticking way out like a minefield ready to tear off my fender. And I would be very much willing to say that 7 out of 10 times these trucks are parked slanted where, let's move over here. They're parked slanted to where it's like, they're kind of like that, where it's like there's a lot of space on this side, but, you know, they're kind of intruding on how you can park over here. And at that point, it's like, well, I don't really want to park in this spot because this truck has to pull out at an awkward angle because it's not parked correctly like the garage has. Like the layout has. So it's like, I don't really want to park next to it because there's a good chance they're going to scrape my car. So, you know, A lot of these spots that are oftentimes in between these trucks, they just get left open because nobody wants to park there, because it's going to be challenging, A, to get in there because both the trucks are sticking out, because oftentimes there's a truck on each side, on the side that nobody wants to park in. It's going to be hard to finesse to get in there because you have to go around this one and avoid this one. And then it's what if you, okay, maybe you get back before they do and you're able to back out and then go on about your way, maybe. What if these guys have to leave first? These are these stupid lifted trucks with the wheels sticking out. It's if you look at any video study, whatever, of the visibility of these trucks, they can't see anything that's below them. My head is probably level with the hood on some of these. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, be okay, they're probably, I'm sure they haven't scratched anybody yet, but it's what if I'm the first one? What if they don't see this car here? And again, I really don't want to come off as one of those people that's oh, do you really need a truck? I don't want to come off as one of those people, which I imagine most of the people that drive these trucks really don't need trucks. But when I was in high school, I drove a 2001 F-150 every day. That was my daily driver. And the amount of trailers I hauled with that, I hauled goats, I hauled sheep, I think I've hauled horses with that truck. I've hauled hay, I've hauled equipment, I throw all kinds of stuff in the bed of that truck, hauled all kinds of different trailers on that thing, and that worked fine. It was great. And I beat the crap out of that thing because it was a work truck. I worked it. And it's these trucks take up more space than that F-150, cost about 1,000 times more, and they have all these bells and whistles, and it's I can guarantee you do not need that truck if that is the truck that you were driving to college. Maybe there's a couple of people in there that really do need that truck. That maybe that's the only truck they have in some weird circumstance. Maybe it's a company vehicle. That's the only thing they can use to get around. Whatever. I'm sure there are circumstances where that's the only vehicle they can get a hold of. But it's 9 times out of 10, I'd be willing to guarantee you these people do not need these stupid trucks that take up so much space in these parking garages and propose a hazard. It's so unnecessary. And if I can do all that work in a 2001 F-150, XLT, I think it was, these pavement princesses do not need lifted F-250 Platinums without a speck of dirt on them. Come on. It is in my opinion that these kinds of trucks are the worst kind of gender-affirming care because unlike a lot of other kinds of gender-affirming care, these present a hazard to other people and other cars. Just society in general. Okay, I'm sure you're done hearing me rant about giant trucks and parking garages, so I'm going to talk about the next thing that makes me angry in these parking garages. So the big trucks had their own category because I felt that they deserved it. Next up applies to any car. It can be a big truck, it can be a little truck, it can be a sedan, it can be a crossover, it can be whatever car, because a lot of people just don't know how to park in general. All right, so here's another scenario. Here's one of the aisles, and here's one of the aisles that kind of goes around the parking garage, so that way you can find different aisles. And each one of these, it's all one direction. You're all traveling in one direction for all of these. Whenever I park in these parking garages with my Ford Escape, I try to make sure that I am in these spots. I try to make sure that I am in here as much as I can, that I am pulled up as far as I can without damaging my own car, just to make it easier for myself when I'm pulling out, make it easier for other people pulling in, make it safer for my own car, so that way, I don't have to worry about if I say I parked, like this, what if another person parks like that? You know what I mean? And then there's very little space. I try to make it as easy as I can for myself and other people. I even open up my passenger door just to check that I'm in the line whenever I park. Maybe I'm just too obsessed with parking, who knows? But there are a lot of people who do not care how they park at all. The first time I thought about making this video, I was walking back to my car from class. I was walking to the garage and I was thinking about, I really don't like, because, there are a lot of bad parkers here in this garage. And I was thinking, maybe I should make a video about that. That'd be a good rant video. And whenever I got back to my car, this is what I saw. Throw a picture up on screen here, Hayden. For context, I was one of the first people in that area of the garage that morning because I have early classes. So I was there before anybody. And as you can tell, I made sure that I was inside my line because I don't want to, you know, get scraped or get dinged, whatever the case may be. And then this truck, somehow, I don't know how this truck did not scrape my car, because they come in at a different angle where I would think that their mirror or the side of their car would have hit my car somehow. I don't know how it didn't, but they somehow got in there. They're at this angle, and they're over halfway over the line in the back. Did you not notice this? To get in my car that day, I had to take my backpack off, put it in the passenger side, and then go around the front of my car, open up the door barely, and then lift my giant fat ass up above where the door juts out to squeeze in. And I finally got in, but then I had to like bring my mirror in and back out very slowly and very straight in order to get my car out. It's like you didn't even check. And based on how you parked, I don't even think you cared to even think about it in the first place. You didn't care when parking, and you didn't care to check afterwards. Like, come on! So yeah, basically what had happened was my car was parked as it was supposed to in this spot at the angle, and then this truck came in literally, it was like this. How do you even... First of all, how did you not scrape my car? Second of all, how did you not even notice you were parking that badly? Another instance of a very bad parker was they were actually there for a couple days. I don't know how they didn't get towed, but basically it was this Hyundai sedan on the first floor, the ground level, so, you know, already one of the most valuable parking areas anyways, because it's ground level, you don't have to go up. I kid you not, was parked like this. I kid you not, was parked directly over the middle of a separation space. Like, it wasn't even like oh, well, you know, you could tell they were trying to park in this one. No, maybe this one. No, it was literally, like, perfectly in the middle. So this little Hyundai sedan was taking up 2 spaces. How do these people get licenses when they obviously don't have eyes? Like, genuinely, I wish I had taken a photo of it. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I was late to class or something. Who knows? It was so perfectly in the middle of the separation space that it was taking up both of these spots. There was no question about it. It was like, how did you even manage to park and take up both of these spaces equally? You're paying for one spot, not 2. I legitimately can't tell if it was the entitlement of, I'm going to park here and this is how I want to park, or if that person was legitimately so stupid and or blind that they just haphazardly parked wherever they wanted to. I legitimately do not know. For this next little bit, I should probably add some extra context that there are spaces on the outside of the circular lane. So that way, you know, you can turn in, park here, and you can also go down the aisles. Because this next one's gonna blow your mind. There was I believe it was a Ford Maverick, one of those little trucks, and it was parked. So you see how the aisle's here, and then you can go in here and park. This is where it was parked. It was parked next to a space. Yes, I was right. It was a Ford Maverick, and it was there for several days, and I even posted it on my Instagram story, show the photo on screen. And it wasn't like oh, well, you know, I could kind of, you know, see there's space here for there to be an extra parker. No! Half of the truck was jutting out into the aisle area. It was literally jutting out. And you have to work to avoid this truck. How did you manage to park here? Like, even if you squeezed in next to the car that was here, like, even if you squeezed into that car, there's no space here, and it's jutting out. How did you even, like, cars have to, like, work around you and fit through. If there's another truck on here, on this side or whatever, they have to work to fit through. Y'all know why? Because there's not meant to be a space there. It's not that hard. And that truck was also there for several days. I think it was there the last time I was in the garage. But yeah, college parking garages. There are a lot of good parkers, I will say. A lot of people, they know how to respect the spaces. They know how to do that. But there are also so many people that just ruin it because it's just so inconvenient. And again, don't even get me started on the people that park incorrectly on the ends, so that way, you know, whenever I'm taking the ramp from the lower level to go up to go out, that, you know, I have to work to finesse to get through if they're jutting out or something. It's like, it's not that hard to park correctly. If you have one of those giant pavement princess trucks that I know has never done an ounce of work in its life, it wouldn't kill you to get a sedan or something. I can guarantee you'll have money left over after trading in that ridiculous expensive vasectomy. But anyways, yeah, if you're in college watching this, please park with care. There are so many other people using the spots. And just be a decent human being. When you're parking your car, or maneuvering your car in general, it's not that hard. That's my rant. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one, and hope to be back more in the coming months. Goodbye.